Welcome back to MidPoint. Peter Morici, economist and University of Maryland professor of business, and Dr. Steven Stoft, economist and developer at zfax.com. Peter, a few minutes that we have here, I'm going to hit you right on top. You basically hit, I think, what a lot of people are saying here. You don't have a lot of faith, as many others do, when the Republicans take over after the midterm elections to do the right thing when it comes to the economy, do you?
No, I don't. Really, I want a Republican victory because Mr. Obama is pursuing some very hideous, unconstitutional kinds of executive orders and things like this, which are kind of undermining the integrity of the separation of powers. And if the Republicans are in there, it'll be a good thing in that regard. But Boehner doesn't believe in doing anything about the currency. It would take a lot of energy and effort to do something about offshore oil. And, he's not a big one for exerting energy. He's just not. He's an inbox guy. Put something in my inbox and I put it back out. When the currency issue was put in his inbox by the Democratic Senate, he did nothing about it. My feeling is this basically puts us in neutral for a while until we have another president. I frankly think that if we have to put up with Hillary, she'll do a better job than Obama. Obama's really got a very idealistic, kind of like, he reminds me of the humanities college where I teach. They're very jealous of anybody with money and not very good at making any of it and only good at spending other people's money.
All right, Dr. Stoft, I have about 2 minutes left to you as well. Do you have faith that the Republicans can at least have a clue on what to do right should they come out victorious in the midterms?
I don't think so. I don't think they'll listen to Peter yet. But I would like to say what Peter's been saying when he's not on wearing his political hat. In April, he said that Janet Yellen was quite correct that the economy was going to need more support. And he also said that it's going to take longer than she thinks. His other diagnosis in June is if we could solve the trade deficit riddle, we could solve the jobs problem, and we'd have everybody feeling good again. That was the only thing he named. And then he said, it was a problem during the Bush years, and it remains a problem during the Obama years. It's not a partisan issue. So in fact, when he's not being political and doing economics, I completely agree with him. And the only thing really wrong here is what he says, the trade deficit. Other than that, Obama's doing very well. Romney promised 250,000 jobs a month. Obama is up to 220 now. And remember, Romney's was just a campaign promise, maybe a little boastful, but Obama's actually doing the 220, and it's getting better each year.
We are going to get an interesting time here after the midterm elections on Tuesday to find out who exactly has the right ideas and if they can indeed push them forward. I'm sure we're going to come back and revisit this again. Peter Morici, Steven Stoft. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy your election day.
Take care.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
All right, you're welcome. There will be a lot of people out of jobs soon thanks to the midterm elections. All you have to do is look around at the numbers, and you can see that there are those people right now who obviously are trying to think about moving vans to move out of where they are right now. In North Carolina, Republican Thom Tillis and Democrat Kay Hagan duke it out to see who gets to decide matters in the Senate. Unlike other races, this one is not using the traditional go after Obama line of thinking.
While most Democrats on the campaign trail are haunted by the president's low approval rating, that's not quite the case in North Carolina. Instead, Republican challenger North Carolina's State House Speaker Thom Tillis is haunted by his own party. He's the face of a very unpopular Republican-controlled legislature. According to a public policy polling survey, only 18% of voters think North Carolina's General Assembly is doing a good job. Democrat incumbent Senator Kay Hagan is doing what she can to capitalize on those numbers. While on the campaign the biggest hot-button issue, education. According to Politico, an emphasis on education could give Hagan a huge edge in a key voting demographic, women. The strategy seems to be paying off. She's holding on to a slight lead in the polls, though not outside the margin of error. There is one more factor to consider in this race. Libertarian candidate Sean Haw. He's been polling well. If he can keep it up, political analysts say it's likely he could split the conservative vote, making this race still very much a toss-up.